Hello, welcome to the first instalment of Old Man Outdoors. Today I've decided to go on a bit of a ruck. I've packed 5 days worth of food or thereabouts, means of sort of purifying and collecting water on my travels. I'm hoping to do the full 5 days before I need to try and resupply from a shop or something like that. I'm starting my hike in the centre of Swindon town. This is an old railway track, disused, that I'm going to follow on my way out. One of the reasons I've started here, recording here, is because it's not only is this part of Swindon's history, this little railway track, but down this little hill off to the side here, let me go back up here actually. If I show you, I'll flip you around quick. The railway track goes off in that direction and goes back that way. That way is the direction of the station and the old railway works that Swindon's quite renowned for. But what I'm going to do is take you off down this little side track here, because down this little side track is sort of kind of where two worlds meet. We've got the old canal that used to come in to sort towards the centre of Swindon, and I'll show you the direction of that in a minute when we get to the bottom of this hill here. You'll see behind me now the towpath carries on down that way, part of the old canal. It goes off this way towards this bridge. This bridge is absolutely amazing. The workmanship that went into this bridge is something else. The way that the brickwork is, it's pretty cool. You'll have a little look when we get under here. You'll be able to sort of see the way that the bricks protrude and the way that the brickwork's on kind of like an angle. Yeah. You sort of see there what the brickwork's on. It changes. All kind of built on a 45. Thought that was pretty cool, something worth showing. But yeah, this is the old canal that would have come into Swindon. I think it carries on towards Wootton Bassett and Devizes, I do believe. What we're going to do is go back up the other side of this bridge and get back onto the old railway track that goes up towards Old Town, and sort of use this to get out of town, because there's a nice little walk, just quite quiet and peaceful. You don't normally come across massive amounts of people, which is kind of my aim at the minute. Yeah, there we go. So if I flip you around, I'm going to kind of show you where the direction of travel that I'm heading in. Sort of up there in that tree line, just behind that tree line. See right in the distance that little field there, right up in the distance. That's kind of where I'm heading. Hopefully we can make it there. Hopefully we can make it there within a few hours. Like I said, I have decided to pack out of town with enough kit that I'd like to think would last me 5 days. We're we're going to see if we can do that and maybe press a little bit longer. Hopefully we don't have to resupply from any towns or shops. There's a little view from up on top of the bridge that crosses this canal. You can see it's cool. They've actually shut it at the moment because of an argument over who's going to provide the insurance for the people that own boats that like to go up and down here. In that direction, there is actually a little stone bridge that they recently rebuilt, which is pretty cool. I'll be right back with you. Alright, sorry about that. Some people passing. They might not want to be in the background of my video, so just polite not to record them. Not that I care what other people think, but you know, common courtesy and all that. Treat people how you want to be treated, etc, etc. But yeah, like I said, I packed enough stuff for 5 days. I'd like to think I have anyway. And we're going to go see how far we can make it. I'm going to take you along with us for the ride. Hopefully you enjoy it. This trip possibly include a little bit of, well, a lot of rucking. A little bit of survival, bushcraft, wild camping. Hopefully it's not too much of sort of open trail walking. Hopefully we can, depending on what route I take, summit a couple of hill forts on the way, maybe walk the downs. But there are a lot of old railway tracks in the direction that I'd like to go. And for the ease of walking and the direction of travel, the old railway tracks seem to be pretty direct routes. So it would make sense to follow them rather than hike up and down the downs and up to places that would be quite far out of my way to get to, but hence the name, Old Man Outdoors. We'll see how the old meat carcass feels at the end of each day. I'm hoping to make a hill foot by the end of the night. I'd rather not camp near towns and stuff, and I'm hoping this kind of hill fort gets locked at about 9 o'clock, so it'll only be hikers and dog walkers and maybe the odd 4x4 that might come across us on the way. But I'm going to head down this, carry on heading down this old railway track, and if I find anything cool, and when I get towards the end of it, because there's some cool stuff down here that I'd like to show you, I'll bring you back. Should take me roughly 15-20 minutes, I can imagine. Obviously for you it'll be maybe a split second or two. Nice one. There's something else that I wanted to show you. There's another reason why I started recording. There's oh, I need to quickly change the sound so I can tilt you down there. There's like a water source. I don't know if you can see that there. Oh yeah, there's a water source that actually comes out of the ground up here a little bit more. And if I quickly flip you around, you can actually see it's actually quite pretty, to be fair. So you can see that. Yeah, it's actually quite pretty in places. Where it comes out of the ground up here is quite cool. I think they used to use it for like a filling station for the old steam trains that used to travel along this route backwards and forwards. I'm unsure if this was a passenger or a freight line, maybe both, but we will see. I'll try and find that out in the future, and maybe post that in the comments. Also along here, a little bit further up, they found, bearing in mind this is probably the second highest point in our area, in elevation gain. There's they found large fossils up in the sides of the banks when they cut this railway track. Again, I'll be right back because there's people coming. Right, back after letting a few people through. But yeah, this little stream has kind of opened up a little bit more now. So if I kind of flip you around, you can have a little. I mean, it looks relatively clean. As a kid, I used to cycle my bike up here quite a lot, and we used to drink out of where it comes out the rocks and stuff up here. Probably not the best idea, but those kids, you know, you get easily led by stuff you don't quite understand. But yeah, I'll be right back. There's people coming again. I just let a few people past. But just before we get to where the water comes out the rocks, just up on my right hand side there, this is where they found a lot of fossils. So I'm going to flip you around and make my way up, and we'll see if we can see the remnants of somewhere maybe. Yeah, it looks kind of prehistoric. It's quite warm up here. It's got a little tropical kind of rainforesty vibe going on. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a huge one. Would have been an ammonite. Absolutely monstrous. You can see all the shell layers and other stuff up in there. Yeah, that's rather cool. Oh, there's a monstrous shell there that's come out just above. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's got quite a sharp overhang, and down on the floor there, there's some big old boulders that have come off of there. I mean, they would be quite capable of killing a human, as you can see there. I mean, that's a large old piece to be coming away from there. And you've got that ginormous tree in that huge crack there. Probably that's what's holding that up. I mean, it's pretty cool. The fact that we're this high up and we're finding seabed type fossils, which is, you know, I think we got to be probably 200 metres above sea level here. I think the highest point in Swindon is Liddington Hill, or around Swindon is Liddington Hill. And in the winter, where you can see where the water's been running down, this is kind of where the water starts to come out the rocks and run down into the stream here, and kind of carry on a little bit further up here. We've done a little bit of repair work to this footpath, and there's like a brick structure here that's got they would have had something on top of it. I do believe that was what they had the filling station for the stream trains on. But along here, this is already soaking wet. Again, another place where they found a load of fossils and other things. Pretty cool. But yeah, normally in the winter time, there's the water's pushing through the ground in the footpath, and it gets comes out the ground quite violently, considering how high up we are. But yeah, it's just something that's quite cool in the centre of our town, where there's not really much cool going on anymore. But I'm coming to the end of this cycle track now, the old railway track. It comes out of a place called Signal Point, which is now a road and an industrial estate. So, oh, here we go. There's another bridge, obviously, or a tunnel. Half of it's built in that same arched brickwork. It's stone actually up there, stonework. Yeah, that 45-degree angle, and then right about here, just above my head now, so it changes into straight brickwork. So I'm wondering if that smaller piece is an original and this is an extension, or this is an extension and that smaller piece down there is the original. Then it's got some hell of a big head wall either side. And you got all that rock and stuff holding all that up there. And you've got a monstrous one that side. Some of the feats of engineering and manual labour and construction prowess around these parts is actually pretty cool. Right, I'll bring you back shortly when I get somewhere a little bit more interesting for you. I would say it won't be very long for you. It might take me 15-20 minutes to get to the next pot. If I find anything cool on the way, I'll bring you back sooner. Hello, welcome back. So I've got to a point where I need to make a decision. I need to either take a right when we come out of this trail and head towards that tree line that I pointed out earlier that heads up onto the hill there and takes me towards the hill fort, or I head left and go away from the hill fort and head to an old reservoir area and maybe replenish my water supply. But if I head right and go to where I want to go, there's a possibility I might be able to get water on the way, but I'm not too sure. So I'm in a kind of conundrum situation, left for water but double the distance, right for the hill fort and rest the legs. So I'll make a decision and get back to you shortly. Decided to go for the option of replenishment of water over doubling the distance. So come to the local country park that used to be an old reservoir for possibly the railway or the canals. I'm not quite sure. Loads of people here. It's not really ideal. There's some idiots set a fire over there in the bush. But yeah, lovely place here. We'll spin you around and maybe have a look around, show you the main part of the reservoir. There's an old diving board. It's been shut off for years. This place has had its fair share of dead bodies discovered in it, and I can't quite see the diving board from here. You might be able to if I get right down onto this fishing peg. I apologise if you can hear the wind. It's a bit savage. Yeah, you can see let me spin you around and we can have a look. I mean, it's quite a vast open space. We've got a model railway over in that direction, which is pretty cool. Used to come here as a kid with my parents. Remember, there's the old diving board, just there in the distance. You might be able to see that. It's quite big. Kind of trees in the way, but yeah, it's quite big. You got a little Heidi hut over there. Some people walking about. Quite surprised there's not many people fishing here at the moment. I don't know what kind of fish is in here. I've been told there's some big carp, some large pike, but whether there is or not is a different story. Some nice big old trees in here. This one that we're going to pass now, got a bit of girth on him. See that there? He got a fair bit of girth on him. And this one here as well. It's got a monstrous bit of girth on him, this one. Just here. Yeah, it's a lovely place here. Just reading the signs. And it says basically no drones, no fires, no disposable barbecues. Doesn't say anything about camping. So, could possibly pitch here for the night. There's a volleyball court there. Nice bit of sand. You know, there's a guy fishing. Cool. Wonder if he's caught anything. I won't disturb him. I'll just keep pressing on. Try and get in some of the shade. I would have gone around the other way, but that way attracts a lot of people. And this way is a little bit more shaded, a little bit more wooded. It's quite nice over this side. But I could spin you around and we'll have a quick ganders about. Oh, ground's kind of sandy around here. Oh, look at that. Some oh, might come back for some midnight fun. Yeah, some nice little trails around here. Little spots to go fishing. Off to the side down the left there. Right, little cut in, some people there. Oh, she's hardly wearing nothing. We won't go that way. Yeah, there's some lovely little spots along here. There's a little, if you went down there, probably take you to a couple of little fishing jetties or pegs, which would be probably quite a nice place to chill right now. As you can see, out this way, I do believe that's part of the golf course over there. And these little avenue of trees, which I do believe are lime trees. I wonder what you guys are all up to at the moment, apart from watching this. I hope you've managed to get yourselves outside, get some miles in rucking, get some hours in under the stars, get some time in around the campfire with some friends, some family, some nice food, some good drink, preferably non-alcoholic. So it's just making my way around this, the trail around this country park, and keeping my eyes on the tree line and things above me, looking at this oak tree. I've just noticed this little dude, this little squirrel, sat in the saddle of a tree in the branches here, and he looks like he's living his best life, man. Probably ate some of those space nuts. I'll flip you around, he's just up here, he looks pretty cool. I might not be able to see him. See him just up there in the saddle. See if I can get a bit closer. You might just be able to see him there. I don't know how good this is going to be on an actual large screen, but hopefully you can see him. But yeah, we're slowly getting around this lake. There's a fishing peg back there. We'll dive out onto the fishing peg and have a look. So it looks amazing. You've listened to me ramble on enough, so I might as well show you some of the nice views here. Oh, we've got a load of swans here. Amazing. Oh, there's loads of them. Hey, have a look at this. Yeah, there's loads of them. Absolutely loads of them. There's got to be, oh, rough count, 50 off the top of my head. I made the choice to come here to possibly get some water, and I don't know if you can see this, but the sediment in there, I don't think I'll be drinking that or even contemplating trying to filter it, to be quite honest with you. That's that looks like the bog of eternal stench from the labyrinth. I mean, I do have a millbank bag and other means of filtering the sediment, but I reckon I could find a cleaner source elsewhere. There's no point in shitting up my kit if I don't need to. I'm going to forfeit filling up my water bladder from here and press on. I know I wanted to stay away from towns as much as possible, but I know if I go this way and cross over the motorway and go up into the next town, I can walk up like a kind of a gorge that's in the middle of it, and I know there's a water source there that's been turned into a nature reserve, so I can imagine it's going to be quite clean, and I won't need to have to worry about a millbank bag or something like that to filter out loads of sediment, because it's quite a fast flowing little stream. That's if it's not dried up. I mean, I'm not in dangerous situation for water at the minute, but yeah, I will leave you here and bring you back in a little while. Hopefully you're enjoying the shelf so far. I know it's just been me kind of rambling on and talking shit, but that's what we'd be doing if you were here with me. So, you know, I'm only trying to keep you immersed. Be right back. I believe this track runs down to the water source I need to get to replenish my bladder. It says it's this way, the Saracen Way. We got the choice of a dirt track or a tarmac one. I'd be quite inclined to take that dirt track myself. Ah, great. It looks like the water source might be dry. It very much does look like the water source might be dry. Oh well. Onwards. Onwards. Yeah, it's not looking very promising. Oh, we have some. We do have some, and it has flow. It doesn't look too bad. I might rest here, have a little sit down, quick snack. That's yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. I'll bring you back shortly. So, good excuse to take the pack off, try and grab some lunch out the lunch bag. I've crammed the food right down in the middle of the pack, which was a bit of a silly idea, but trying to keep the weight distributed quite well. I'll just pull some stuff out of here quick. The food stash, so hopefully the camera will be able to follow me while I'm sitting down and having something to eat as well, which should be quite good. A random stranger look at me like I'm fucking mental, talking to myself. Oh, let's try and get this somewhere a little bit more situated. Yeah, that's better. So we got some quick snacks. Quick avocado. Some other fresh bits and bobs in here. We'll have I was quite surprised that I haven't been squashed. A tomato. I think we'll go for some oily, quick calories, tin of tuna, not tuna, sardines. While I'm here, we'll get the food bag back in the main pack. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? Is I'm going to undo these boots and have a little bit of a shoes off moment.